Do you know why artists wear cool art hats? To cover up our really bad art hair. Not a good hair day. Hey guys, and welcome back to Art a la Carte. In today's episode of Drawing People 101, I'm going to show you how to draw the profile of a head. In the last video, we talked about the basic head shape, and we just touched super briefly on drawing the profile head, but I wanted to go ahead and put a video out that's total focus is talking about the profile head. I found that drawing the profile head was really challenging at the beginning for me until I learned this really cool technique, and it just clicked with me. So hopefully this technique will click with you and you'll go, oh, I get it. So let's get started. Before I show you how to draw a profile head, I want to show you just a little tip that I learned from observing Disney animators draw their characters. Once you get the proportioning correct, then you can move to this step, which is a little bit easier. And that's simply to get the circle shape, and this is the top part of the head, and then you draw your line straight down. So this goes right down between the two eyes. And then you're going to wrap this around for the chin. It allows me to be able to create different types of heads and shapes easily instead of having to, draw the shape and measure it all out. I can easily remeasure that. But usually the line where the cheeks start coming out, that's the eye line right there, and you'll find that's about halfway. And where the end of the circle is where the nose comes in, and then there's the mouth. So if you can remember that right there, it's a lot easier. It goes a lot faster. If you can just remember it, you don't have to draw those little guidelines out. So you'll notice even when I'm doing like speed draws and things like that, you'll notice I will do this kind of technique. I might draw the eye line in there just to make sure I've got the eyes where I want it, but you will notice I don't put in the lines for the mouth and the nose. I just draw them straight in there. Now that was just a technique, and you may have picked that up from the first lesson, but I just wanted to cover it because I didn't actually specifically point on that, where you don't have to draw these guidelines, that these points are right there in there. I just thought I would mention it because it was something that really helped me out understanding how to draw the head, and I thought maybe it would help you guys out. But now, taking this idea, let's move over here and work on a profile head. So I'm going to start the exact same way. I'm going to bring this circle here, and I talked about this also a little bit in the first lesson, and I just want to kind of go over that a little bit. And so I'm going to bring this line down, and this now is no longer the line between the eyes. This line now comes down from the front of the head to the back of the head. This is where the ear is going to be. And you want to angle this line depending on kind of how the head is angled. So another way to do this is to angle your eye line. So now this is your eye line. Your eyes are looking out this way here. So you have this cross line here, and you can pivot this to have the head look up or look down. So let me draw another circle here. But now I'm going to take this line here, I'm going to pivot this a little bit. And then I'm going to bring up my eye line here. So this is where the eyes are, they're looking out this way, where this head here is looking straight on. I can do this one more time here for you, but this time I'm going to pivot this down a little bit, and now my eyes are looking down. Right? So we have the direction of how we want the head. This is the comfortable state where people keep their head, but we don't keep that all the time. We're constantly looking up and looking down, and by creating that in your drawings, you're going to create a little bit more interest to your drawings. So this line here is already the natural line of your forehead, and instead of wrapping it around, we're going to draw a straight line down. And it's not going to come even here, it's going to come down a little bit, because remember, this is your end here, so you have all this length here. So you want to bring this down about the same distance from here to here. A little bit of a shallow forehead. And so this is going to come down, and then this is going to wrap around, usually at a slight angle, but not super sharp. You don't want to give them a super sharp jaw. You want to have a little bit for the throat. And it's going to kind of come down from the neck there. We'll talk about the necks in a second here. Now the nose, though, you want to actually have a nose. Now, depending on your person might have a larger nose or a smaller nose or a little itty nose or turned up nose. But your nose is going to come out just a little bit of a triangle, and usually that kind of comes right about that bottom part of that circle there. Comes out with the nose, and then you have your lips, and your lips actually have a little bit of there's a little bit of flow to your lips. They kind of come out to the Cupid bow, to the top lip, come out for the bottom lip, in a little bit for the chin, and then wrap around. Alright, so you have your jaw that comes up here, and then your ear is going to go right at this line, so because your ears come in right at your eye line, is where usually the top of your ear is, and then it goes down all the way down to about your nose line. And again, that changes from people to person. All right, and then you have your neck, which you want to make sure, here's your neck line. You don't want to have it start here because you have a really thin neck. So you want to think of it as kind of fleshing out when we were drawing arms and legs and things. That was your bone line, and you want to put the muscles and tendons out there. So as it wraps around here, and then your head kind of goes around here, and it's going to come around the cranium. It's going to come down a little bit further from this line here and go into the back of the neck, but you want it to come in a little bit. You don't want it to just come straight down here. You want it to come in a little bit into the shoulders. And then your eyes are going to be from this point to this point, about halfway. You would draw your eyes, depending on your person. And then your eyebrows are up here. Alright, so let's do these two heads. I'm going to switch to a lead pencil so that you can see a little bit better and I can get a little bit more of a sharper line. So now this line here is looking up. So everything follows the same thing, only we're curved a little bit. So here's my forehead right there. And my line is going to drop down. I'm going to draw that really lightly because I'll end up erasing that. And it's going to wrap around here to the neck and back around, just like that. And then we'll put in, so there's kind of the shape of the head. See how we kept, you know, the shoulders and everything are still here in the same position. We're just reacting with that neck. So here it's contracting and here it's extending. You gotta think about that, the backbone, neck bone kind of going, how that would turn there. Okay, and so then you have this, so then you're going to bring this out for your nose. And you can put your eyes in here. Your ear. And your eyebrow, don't forget your eyebrows. Alright, so let's look at this one here. This one's looking down. So again, I'm just going to wrap this right around that skull. Bringing it down. And now this line here, the part of the neck, is going to extend. And this part here is going to contract. And you'll kind of see that kind of more of a fold line here. Bringing it out for the bridge of the nose. Okay, I have my eyes down just a little bit further on this head, so I'm not going to put my ear way up here because that's going to look really weird, so I'm going to actually lower my ear too. So I've given this person a larger forehead. And that's where you have the freedom to move things around a little bit. And that's just an easy way to begin to start looking and practicing drawing a profile head. I hope you enjoyed that technique. I hope it helped you out a little bit there. It was something that I learned from watching Disney animators animate, and I went, oh, that's how they do it. That works so well, you know, because I like guidelines, but I don't like intensive guidelines where you have to draw all these lines and measure and all that. I want something that was quick, and this is really quick. And the more you practice with it, the faster it's going to get, the easier it's going to get, and you'll find that you'll just be able to really draw these heads really well. And there's a car. Maybe you guys have noticed that there's a little bit of difference to my room. You can't really see it too much, but I'm changing my studio around a little bit. Still a complete disaster. I won't show you what's on the other side of the camera right now, but maybe on my Friday vlog I will give you a little tour of my studio if I haven't done all the way. So that'd be fun. Anyway, if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. I post 4 videos each week, and most of them are videos that you guys requested. So if you have anything that you would like to learn how to draw or would like to see a tutorial on, leave that in the comment section below and I'll try to do one for you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye! I warned you, the hat covers up the hair.